is it's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about the only leak we've got thus far, and that is endgame Kevin Durant coming to NBA 2K23 MyTEAM tomorrow. We probably will see more leaks here in a little bit, so I'll also record a video on that if we do see all of the cards coming out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about my opinion on endgames in general, and especially on this KD to start things off. Now, before we dive any further into that, guys, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, make sure you guys do smash that subscribe button as we're on the road towards 120,000 subscribers. So let's start with this, okay? For a guy like Kevin Durant, my opinion on him is different than everybody else, because here's the deal. Kevin Durant all year long has been not very good. Have we seen like a KD that's been the best small forward in the game ever? I mean, I don't think so. When I go through and look at these KDs, I'm like, oh, man, I don't really know if I love this card, and it's weird. Because obviously, like, all the NBA players got, like, new SIGs, new releases this year. If you go back to last year or even, like, years prior, like, KD's Invincible card was really good. Like, the KD base was absolutely incredible. And it was easy to time, easy to green, tough to contest. Like, it was the whole package, okay? And then, obviously, when he did get an endgame card, like, he obviously got better, as you guys can see. Like, we saw one with jump shot 3. I think we also did see one with set shot 25. If I am remembering correctly, yes, we saw one with jump shot 3, one with set shot 25. So that's kind of what to expect this year. If you're new to my team in general, endgame cards, basically what they are, they get all of the best SIGs, all of the best animation. It's basically just everybody gets the same stuff. It's just, you know, what does that player look like? What is their player model like? All of that stuff. Now, why does that excite me kind of about KD? Well, we've not had a usable KD yet. And this KD, remember, he's going to get all of the best stuff. So don't be surprised if he has the Oscar upper KPJ base. I would not be surprised with that. Base maybe upper like, Terry Dishinger, who has the, I think it's the Oscar with the Carmelo. Don't be even surprised if, you see some of the other popular bases. So like O'Shea, I wouldn't be totally stunned, totally surprised. Even like the John Wall base that they did give to Michael Finley could be used. I'm hoping they mix it up. Supposedly Darius Garland has a good release too. I'm hoping they mix it up. Now, supposedly the KD upper, at least for me, I don't think it's very good. I think that's part of the reason KD's card's not very good, is because I do believe the upper on it slows it down quite a bit. Because even if we go in here and look at, the Kevin Durant, like, these are the KD cards we've seen this year. And if you look at the other cards with the KD upper, like Manu, prime example. The Manu release, his base is solid, but the upper slows it way down. Right? It's just the way it is. I love Manute. I think Manute's absolutely incredible. But I've been wondering why his release is on the slower side of things, and it's because of the KD upper. So my whole thing is, if he has the KD upper tomorrow, it's probably a card that I'm going to be like, he could be better, if he had a better upper. But I don't think it's probably going to ruin the card if he gets the KPJ base, especially. I still think it's going to be okay and solid enough. But I do think that's going to make him struggle a little bit. Now, what is my opinion on endgame cards? Let's break that down a little bit more. Well, for KD, I don't mind it, because the last thing I wanted to see is an invincible Kevin Durant with the Kevin Durant base on very quick. That's not doing anything for the card. Card's not going to get any better. Now, I wish I would have maybe went away with the endgame cards and just gave cards invincible. And if they needed a SIG change, you give it to him. So maybe for KD, you just change his upper. Maybe that's the reason his release is bad. Maybe you mess around with it, and maybe it is the base and he just needs, a new base and keeps the upper. I don't necessarily know. Obviously, I don't work for 2K. I don't work with 2K, so I can't be the one to tell you, this is the reason KD is bad. But he did need a new release. As far as his dribble SIGs, hopefully he gets the Asta or the Infi slide. Hopefully, the leaner is a little bit better as well. Hopefully he gets the Trey leaner. Stuff like that to make him even better. And my guess is, with the endgame card, he's going to get all of the best SIGs, all of the best animations. I wish they maybe wouldn't do that and just give him an invincible, because you guys got to realize, a shooting guard 6'10", invincible KD, with a new release, new dribble SIGs, people would be hype about that in general. People don't need the best SIGs animations all the time. And that's something that I personally just have my opinion on. Do I think this KD is going to be absolutely elite? Yes. I think he is, I'll say this. I think he has potential to be the best shooting guard in the game. Now, it all depends on that upper. If he has the KD upper, I might be a little hesitant tomorrow before my gameplay specifically, just because, I mean, how good is that going to make him? Is that, you know, going to hold him back? Those type of things. But he's going to have a good player build, player model at 6'10". And that's what is kind of exciting, right? Because height does run my team. My hope, though, is that they don't start to give everybody endgame cards. Because I'm going to give you guys a prime example. Like, you know, let's look at a card with a great release. Like a Tracy McGrady, for example. Do we really need an endgame T-Mac when his release is basically already perfect? Or is the invincible T-Mac just fine? Right, I get for KD, I get for Giannis, I get for Cade Cunningham, I get for these type of cards. If you have to give them a new release, Cade's isn't even that bad. But like for some of the top guys, like even like a Wilt Chamberlain, yes, if Wilt's ever going to be usable again, he needs a new release. So for those, I get it. If they want to make those endgame cards, that's fine. I'm just hoping they don't go overboard with it, you know, like even like a guy like Luka, he's already got a changed base, right? So even make an invincible Luka change his base, and that's my whole thing. Why can 2K just not make these invincible cards and change the release on them? I get endgame cards obviously always have the best, you know, best stuff, and invincibles don't, but that's just kind of my one wish if I personally did have one. So I love Tim Thomas right now as my favorite shooting guard in my team, and it's going to be very interesting. Is KD going to be better than TT? What are his dribble sticks going to be like? What is his release going to be like with that upper? But I love height at the 2, and KD is going to be able to provide that. I'm really, really intrigued to see. Obviously, he's the only endgame card coming tomorrow. But even when we go to last year, right? Whenever we started getting end games last year, I think it was right around the same time. Scotty Barnes, was he the first one? No, because we got, I think this Wilt, no, we had one before Wilt, right? Yes, Magic Johnson. He came out on June 17th. So I'm guessing, like, again, June 16th, June 17th, same basically day. Told you guys 2K is basically a copy and paste type of game. KD probably our only end game coming tomorrow. Probably gonna see 4 invincibles with him, with a set around him. But just know they're gonna ramp up from here, right? Probably one on maybe Tuesday. We'll see if we get one with the promo. Probably not, honestly. We'll see. But then next Friday, probably another one. And then it's gonna start ramping up with a couple a day as we saw before. It'll be very interesting though. Are they going to do like what we saw with Season 8? So, for example, and I doubt with KD, but with Season 8, we saw like an Invincible with them. So, for example, you know, you'd see an Endgame KD, an Invincible KD, as well as some other good KDs. I could see them doing this again, and I honestly like this. So, I'm not saying with KD necessarily, but I'm hoping with like a Taka, with some other guys, if they are going to give them Endgames, they also do give them an Invincible. Because, let's say even like a Tim Thomas, if we happen to get an Endgame Tim Thomas, I want the chance to use the Invincible Tim Thomas because I like his release, I like his movement, and I don't think there's a necessity to change. Now, with the Endgame cards coming, packs probably the odds to pull KD are not going to be good, but just know the market is going to go down steadily. It probably might not crash. Like if you have T-Mac, TT, I wouldn't really panic sell or worry, especially until we see that KD is really that man with the plan tomorrow. But it is something to at least keep an eye on in the back of your mind, and just know, well, this is week 1, but just know this is probably going to be a sign of things to come. I gotta say, I didn't think 2K would give us endgames, especially this early on. I thought they'd hold on to them a little bit and make it at least just, because we still have so many invincibles, right? We didn't even have an invincible KD. We don't have an invincible Ben Simmons, not an invincible Taco or Yao. So like, there's so many more invincibles they have to drop, and that's kind of the main reason I thought that we wouldn't see them this early. But am I really mad at it? Do I hate it? No. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think, you know, KD is going to be really solid in my team, and I honestly, this is my opinion, I hope he's the real deal. I hope tomorrow KD is the best shooting guard in the game, because at least at that stage, we know we're going to start seeing like the best cards in the game. Because lately, as good as my team's been, if you had the best team in the game when you locked in Manute, nobody made your best squad. Kareem doesn't make the best squad. Larry, maybe your backup shooting guard, but still I'll take Chet and Bobo. MJ, Kobe, they didn't make it. Bron doesn't make it. AD, Carmelo, Steph, they didn't make it. So you have to go back a long time. Shaq makes the best squad in the game. I'll give him credit. But you have to go back quite a ways until T-Mac for cards that make the best squad in the game. And so that's the one thing for me that I'm like, well, I mean, for the people who have been saving up their MT, for the people who, you know, grind the game heavy, this is kind of your time to shine with the end game Kevin Durant coming to my team tomorrow. I need to know your guys' thoughts on KD down below in the comments. Are you guys excited, or do you guys wish there would be no end game cards? Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.